was 25 when I come to England, and I met my husband when another friend introduced us, and then we just started going out dating. Dating is always honeymoon, lovely. But when I found out that I'm pregnant and the belly is showing, he freaked out and everything's changed. He just ignored me, saying that I'm fat, I'm ugly, and started up a lot of abuse, and I just cry and keep quiet.
My mum died when I was 22-month-old, so I live with my dad. I'd eat us with sticks, his slipper, backhanders. He locked us in our rooms for 6 weeks, so all we came down to do was our chores. He didn't love us, he told me to my face, he didn't love me and I wish he'd never been born. I ran away from my dad's at 15 and I went to live with my best friend. I couldn't take it no more, I'd had enough.
I was 17 when I had my first child. Yeah, it was a happy baby. I had him till he was 1.5 years, so it was 18 months, and then he went into foster care. I had the court hearing, and then I had my last contact on 25th of September 2005.
I'm Graham, I'm 49 years old, a single disabled parent to 3 children. The children's mum left almost 3 years ago, and birthday after she left, which wasn't long after, she came, but not for very long, and she didn't even want to stay to do the happy birthday and blow out the candles. On her leaving, I probably did hit my lowest point, not because she'd left, but because of what she'd left behind in the wake. And it was left in total hovel disarray. Because of my disability, I found it difficult to get upstairs, and I actually buried my head in the sand. In my situation, if Home Start had never got involved, I wouldn't be here now with my children in a house that's a lot better than it was. Social services made such demands that I would not have been able to cope with.
It was like a tip when our Home Start helper came. It was like toys, clothes everywhere.
I was at my lowest point, and Home Start were the ones that brought me off the ground. Otherwise, I would have lost my children to social services.
We live above the takeaway. It's a family business. I was constantly working. I'm really isolated. I'm not allowed to go anywhere. I give birth to Timothy. I'm having my contraction and everything while I'm working. I cannot say, oh, I'm in pain or anything. I need to stay until the shop closed. I only can go to the hospital. And after birth, came back, rest for a bit, and started working again. Same routine. My husband doesn't want to have any relationship with me. I don't have any families over here. The only family I have is my in-laws. And when they started bullying me, everything is so controlling. And I can't breathe. I really, really need help. And I felt like worthless, like no point living. There's one winter time when Manchester have that heavy snow. I was having really high temperature. Timothy is having a fever as well, and that time I was pregnant with my second child. And I wanted to kill myself. Timothy doesn't speak because the constantly abuse and everything, so he never called me mommy, nothing at all. So that day, I took a knife, and then Timothy just came in, and he saw me crying, and I'm holding a knife, and he came to me and said that, "Mommy, are you all right?" And I dropped my knife, and I hug him, and I just tell him, saying that, no matter what, I'm not taking my life. I will try to find a way to save me and you out of this situation. My GP called my health visitor, and my health visitor introduced me to Home Start.
I was a Home Start volunteer. Inez was the first family that I worked with. She didn't really go anywhere. Her life consisted of the flat and working in the takeout downstairs.
I've been out seeing Jennifer. We've been to the park, we've been to play area, and Timothy is really, really happy.
The whole house was absolutely a mess, and I just didn't know where to go. When social services came round, I was prepared to shut the door in the face. The initial interview for Home Start, they put my mind at ease that they were the team I needed to give me the emotional support I needed to empower me to actually get on with my own tasks.
Yeah. You've worked hard though, haven't you?
Home Start, getting involved, worked with me as a team, boosted my self-confidence. We got stuck in together, all the volunteers that helped me, and we really went through the whole place within and even quite earlier than the time limit social services set us. I can cope now. Because of Home Start, I know there's people out there that genuinely care and not just ticking boxes.
I never told my family because I don't want them to worry. They're in Malaysia. My third trimester with my second child, my mom flew in and she saw the abuse and she just straight away said that, do you still want to live your life like this? You need to tell people. My husband and my in-laws threatened me saying that they will take your kids away. They will take your kids away. And I have no idea about the law, the rules, the regulation.
She was upset, wanted to leave. She needed to get out of there. She didn't want to be there. We were looking at supporting her leaving him.
Home Start take me to Women's Aid. They reassure me, my kids, they won't take away from me. My husband gets suspicious, saying that why I'm going out. And I was like, it is trouble. And he said that if you want to leave, you can leave, but I will take Timothy away from you. It's domestic abuse. I need to leave this house. And I straight away call Home Start. Home Start asked me straight away call the police. And we just, sit in the police car and just go. My ex-husband doesn't know where I've been, where I go, no. Living a life without fear, without violence in their life. Both of my boys is so happy. We can do anything, we can go anywhere. And our life is freedom.
That early experience with Inez and other families, the training I accessed through Home Start kind of opened my eyes to so many things. Seeing her situation, it made me rethink kind of what I wanted to do as a job. So from my volunteering, I then went on to apply to do my master's degree in social work, and I'm now a qualified social worker, and Home Start has really given me more experience to make me kind of a better social worker.
I met Cade's dad on a dating website. It was nice, funny, and we got on really, really well. We were together 2 months, and then I got pregnant with Cade.
She put everything into him, thinking that this was going to be this happy fairy tale, you know, little family she'd made for herself.
I actually went to the hospital in labour, not knowing whether I'd get to take my son home or not.
When I first met Michaela, she'd been through quite a traumatic incident with the baby's father. There was violence with Cade's dad towards Michaela.
I'd phoned my social worker. I explained because I was scared because he's holding my son yet he's threatening to slap me.
He was an illegal immigrant at the time and he had to be removed from the country, which I think left Michaela very vulnerable, confused.
Social services suggested in one of my meetings that I had to look into Home Start and explained it hard to me about having someone come out, help me, you know, someone there if I need them. Lisa's brilliant. She really helped me out. She'd come, we'd go out.
Michaela was a self-harmer. That's how she coped at the time. She stresses that, you know, she doesn't do that now, but it was a form that she turned to for quite a long time. Just talking to somebody and opening up to somebody and trusting somebody, because you can trust. It does help, and you don't have to self-harm. You can talk, you can get upset, you can have a cuddle, you can have a hug, and you're not on your own. You know, that's what I were to a friend. I was out of work and I hadn't got any prospects of anything, but being a Home Start volunteer, I built confidence for myself. I was pleased with what I was doing. I really felt like I was making big differences.
And then last night I put him in his car. And he stayed there for, oh yes, creep out.
The employers have been very interested in what sort of volunteer work I've done, why I've done it, and very interested in what Home Start had done. I'm now a support worker for learning difficulties and autism children, challenging behaviour.
Yesterday at school, I was the pupil of the day. This is what my teacher gave me. You have a happy and hard-working attitude. This is what Jessica said, my friend. You are lovely to be with because you help me when I'm upset. We feel great because our room is tidy. We can start having friends over maybe, and we feel happy when our dad feels happy.
Home Start have built my self-confidence. They've raised me up into a place where I can cope now. I always had it in the back of my mind. They're only a phone call away, just to reassure me that everything is going in the right direction.
Oh, I want the best life for Cade. I want him to have the childhood that I never had. I want him to have the best childhood ever.
I can see the future now for my boys, and I'm happy that I made that really big decision.